turn there. Now, we talk about how to pay for it. We touched on this earlier, but let's take a listen. Donald Trump on taxing foreign profits earlier.
A one-time deemed repatriation of corporate cash held overseas at significantly discount, which coming back at a significantly discount, 10%. So it comes back discounted at a 10% tax rate and ends the deferral of taxes on corporate income earned abroad.
By the way, what Donald Trump just talked about was not tax inversion. Tax inversion is a different shell game. We're talking simply about selling the rest of the world a bunch of iPhones, a bunch of cars, a bunch of washing machines. I love the idea of repatriation holiday. George Bush did this thing, but I don't like the idea of taking money from companies if they don't want to send it back. I think it's crazy. I think it opens up the door for someone like a Bernie Sanders to say, hey, if corporate balance sheet is going to be part of the public domain, I want at it as well. Let's talk about that, Chris. Also, tariffs and trade wars. How would they work into this equation?
Well, I mean, on the first point, I mean, Donald is going in the exact wrong direction. He would immediately tax all foreign profits every year by U.S. multinational companies. That's the wrong way to go.
He said he would give these guys a one-time break. So you got $2 trillion overseas.
Right.
Bring it back. That would be part of the negotiation. Listen, you have a window of opportunity.
I don't mind that so much, but he would, on an ongoing basis, he would end deferral, meaning he would tax the foreign profits every year around the world. No other industrial country does that. Every other country has gone to what's called a territorial system, as you know, and that's the best thing for U.S. multinationals.
That's a great point. Chris, hold on one second. Let me bring Tammy in. I think that's a great point. Although, and I would love to see a president just scrap that. Let these guys bring the money back and open factories in this country.
Well, what he's doing now, and you're hearing cries from the left, is that he's even cutting taxes for corporations. This is to make up in part for the difference when we talk about revenue and how he's going to make up for across-the-board cuts, including going down to 15% for the corporate rate. You've got to at least find something to have to come back. That might be the negotiation. Is like, look at this general rate, and then this is what we're going to do with the money that's offshore.
Right. So in other words, if Trump said, I'm getting rid of this altogether, there's no urgency factor. This creates an urgency factor. You got a one-time window, bring the money back immediately. So I understand where he's coming from when he negotiated.
There has to be action. There has to be an incentive to do it right now, and where we all win.
And I can only hope that, you know what, to your point, Chris, that down the road, if he were elected president, he would just completely scrap that altogether. Before we go, then, we've got 4 tax brackets: 0, 10%, 20%, and 25%. We're going to cut the capital gains tax, get rid of the death tax. A lot of things are here that have been on the conservative wish list for a long time. Overall, Chris, how would you rank the plan?
Yeah, I think it's very good. I mean, it would make the U.S. economy boom. As you may have noted, I mean, under Ronald Reagan, we got down to 2 rates, 10 and 28% for individuals. Trump would essentially bring it down to about 10 and 25. That is the right way to go. You know, I mean, ultimately, you know, I'm for a flat tax, but this would be a big improvement.
Yeah, I think I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump's. You can't deny this is a decent plan. I don't like the codifying of a 0 rate, but other than that, it's going in the right direction.
Let's leave it right there, guys.